Welcome to InnovativePhysiqueDevelopment.com. My name is Robert MALEK, ISSA Elite Trainer with 18 certifications from Science for Sport. Today I'd like to talk about recovery time as well as testosterone. I had recently done a testosterone video. I've since deleted that video because really the whole matter of testosterone and recovery comes together where I decided to make a video that encompasses both. Because without a proper level of hormones, how can you be expected to recover properly? And if you don't have normal or optimal level of hormones, how do you determine your recovery time, be it man or woman? So this is more than even just testosterone. This is about testosterone, this is about estrogen, this is about growth hormone, this is about iron content of your blood, this is about so much. And I find that on the internet, it's since been really kicked around, undetermined. It's just been like a football or a basketball just going all over the place as far as recovery time, with I'd say the ball going more on the side of the team for more recovery is better. Well, you know, this is all a bunch of ridiculousness, because it's a matter of being specific, and I will get to that. I want to talk about my history as I go back in my years as being an athlete. And I recommend that you go to my site, InnovativePhysiqueDevelopment.com, and view the Big Lifts page as well as Education and Experience Continued page, where you could see my lifelong list of athletic accomplishments. And one of them was in 1990, on May 6th and May 13th of 1990, back-to-back Sundays, I ran 26 miles. And I did it myself. I did it myself out at the beach, no one pushing me. And the first one, I couldn't find soft sand. I couldn't find hard sand, and I ended up having to run that in the soft sand, which took me more than 5 hours. Right? The second one, on May 13th, I did it under 3 hours because I was able to find hard sand on that day. But the reason why this is significant is because in 1990, it was believed that you cannot run a marathon any more than one every 30 days. I did 2 in 7 days. I knew that was bullshit. I knew I could do more than that. And I knew that I could do more than once every 7 days. Unfortunately, as my life had gone at that time, things had gone on, I wasn't able to properly keep with my training at the time, where I could have improved upon that. However, I achieved that. And I knew that the concept of this long rest period was ridiculous. Now, believe me? Well, let's look at the history, a part of me. Up until this point, it was Bill Rogers, who was running about 100 miles a week. Then there was Rob DeCostello, who supposedly was running 130, and that was a lot. Oh my God, he's running 130 miles a week. But I knew that was not enough. I knew that the human body could do more. I knew I could do more, and I proved it. Guess what? A couple of years later, Kenyans came out in the marathon running scene, dominated the marathon running scene, and their weekly mileage was on average 26 miles every single day. Bingo! And they have dominated the marathon circuit for years. While the Americans are constantly talking, well, we need to train less, and no overtraining. Kenyans came along, fuck that. Marathon every day, dominated the whole scene. I knew it was bullshit. I knew it. Okay, so let's not talk about how, more recovery is better, more recovery. Doesn't exactly hold water in history. So I want to put that out there and make that clear as far as what I experienced as an athlete when I was in my younger years, and how I did not accept that, and I achieved greater than what was believed to be done. that I could run a marathon more often than once every 30 days. And the Kenyans came along and were like, yeah, Rob's right. We'll do it every single day. How's that? How's that? I'm not surprised. And then you have great athletes, great athletes, like David Goggins, okay, who is running ultra marathons up to 200 miles at about the age of 50 years old now. If you don't know about David Goggins, I recommend that you check him out online and see all of his amazing accomplishments as a military man and as an athlete. Okay, so taking this forward from the endurance athletes, where like you have those such as the Kenyans and David Goggins running 200-mile races at the age of like 50. We have the strength athletes. Now, the strength and the bodybuilding, how long should you rest? Well, here's the question. What are your hormone levels like? Are they all in the normal range? Are they optimal? Do you know? Do you think that you can recover as quickly as someone else that has optimal level of hormones and an optimal blood profile of not just the hormone level? Have you had your urine checked on a full profile? I recommend that you go to vigoroussteve.com. Check out his YouTube channel as well as his website, and have a full blood and urine panel done as he recommends, and look how extensive it is, and see where you're at with all these levels. And when you look at this whole profile and panel of your blood work and how many parameters there are, how can you possibly make some decision as far as, well, you know, you need to rest every 4 days or 3 days, or someone just comes up with a figure, and this is all over the internet. It's ridiculous. You need to get your blood checked, you need to get your urine level checked, and see where you're at. And if you're a guy, or even if you're a girl, okay, if you have X amount of testosterone, and other girls have 3 times your level, or other guys have 3 times your level, even though you're in the normal range, you have a problem. You cannot heal as well as someone else. And in addition, what about all of the other levels that exist? Now, where's your estrogen level? And the estrogen has the benefits for your joints. Well, did the workout that you do, was it more stressful on your joints or more stressful on your muscles? If your estrogen level is higher, you can handle more of the joint stress. Now where are we? I mean, there are so many different parameters here as far as even your muscle fibers. Do you have a predominance of fast twitch fiber? Do you have a predominance of slow twitch fiber? Or 2A or 2A/1? Because we have 2B on one side for maximum strength and speed. Then we go 2A for less strength and less speed but more endurance, and then 2A/1 and over to 1. And you could do more work on the 1 fiber than what you could do on the 2B. So, women tend to have more of the endurance fiber than men. Not always the case, but on average, yes. So if you're a woman and you're doing more endurance work, guess what? You could do more if you're a woman and you're doing more endurance work, you're focusing more on that, because this is where your genetic code is. You can work out more often than someone who has a greater preponderance of the 2B fiber, because you're focusing on the endurance and you tend to have endurance fiber. So What's your genetic code as far as your fibers? This is all very, very important regarding your recovery time. Now at this point, I just want to take a break and come right back. All right, so getting back to my discussion here as far as fibers are concerned. The endurance fibers can handle more of volume than what the strength and power fibers can. So if you're working one more than the other, you have to understand this is different. This is a different type of workout for a different type of muscle that you have, which is different from someone else. In addition, let's say you're working your strength and your speed fibers. Okay. For your strength and your speed fibers, how much eccentric work did you do? Did you do overloaded eccentrics? How much isometric work did you do? Did you do overloaded isometrics? What about your shock methods? How much of that did you do? Did you do accumulation of volume techniques, such as after your set was over, you waited 10 seconds, hit another rep, waited 10 seconds, hit another rep, waited 10 seconds, hit another rep. Okay? Did you do explosive concentrics rather than just concentrics? So these are all factors. When you brought up the weight, did you slowly let it down over a 2-second period, or did you just let it drop down? Your eccentrics. Now, there is video of me on the internet pulling 1,706 times, 160 pounds through the sand. Okay, that's 155 pounds of barbell plates plus the chain. At 160 pounds, 1,706 times. Do you think I could have done that eccentrically? No. Okay, it's different. It's all concentric. When I go to the gym and I do 10 to 12 sets at 165 pounds on the matrix machine, and 10 to 12 sets of 50 reps alternating at 165 in that matrix machine, that knocks me out. Now, if that's 600 reps, and that's only 300 an arm, compare that to 1,700 an arm of all concentrics. Concentric volume is different than eccentric. Eccentrics knocks you out faster. Okay, so if you are taking out your eccentrics, and sometimes you want to do that because the effects of the eccentrics on the muscles is different from the concentrics. It's a different type of workout for different purposes on the muscle, and I've gone into this in my other videos. But the point is here is that depending upon the amount of eccentric work that you have done will also depend upon the amount of recovery that you need. Because in order to do commensurate damage to the muscle, you have to do a much greater amount of concentric work. Okay? So you just can't talk about this whole thing of how much rest time do you need. Oh, you need this amount of time. This is ridiculous. There are so many factors that come into play. Like I had brought up here, the matter of your hormone levels and other parameters of your blood and urinalysis that you should have done. Are you normal or are you optimal? Right? If you're a guy, for instance, and you have 300 nanograms per deciliter, the other guy has 1,000 nanograms per deciliter, basically you have 2 testicles and he has 7. Where are you going with this? People say all the time, oh, if you're 18, oh, your hormones are so high, whatever. This is bullshit. It's impossible. Because if you're 18, do you ever see anyone that is 18 years old, but also wears glasses? And if you were involved with archery, don't you think you'd have your eyes checked? So in bodybuilding and muscle building or in sports, where your strength and your recovery is so important, how could you not? How could you not have your hormone levels checked as a man and also as a woman? I'm going to place after this video the page in the book from Brad Schoenfeld stating that the anabolic effects of testosterone are irrefutable. It's critical that you have a positive nitrogen balance and that you heal not just quickly, but how well you heal. Haven't you ever seen people that come back to the gym for years and they never change? And they keep looking the same all the time, year by year? It's always the same? What's going on? What's going on? If you optimize your levels as an athlete, then when you break down, you will be able to quickly heal and come back stronger. The workout's only half the equation. You'll talk about, oh, the workout, the trainer, this. It's only half the equation. What is your body doing with the stimulus? What is your body doing with the damage, with the stress? How well is it healing? How fast is it healing? So many factors. The factors of your own health. And when you have optimal levels, and we're not even getting into bodybuilding levels here, I'm talking about optimal levels to make sure that you have optimal hormonal levels. How could you possibly talk about recovery time and make some type of across-the-board figure as to recovery if you haven't checked your hormone levels? You think it doesn't matter? You think that you could say to person A and person B, you should wait 2 days or you should wait 3 days? I mean, come on. Without them being optimal regarding their blood work? And as far as rest time, tell me how the Army, tell me how the Marines, tell me how the Special Forces handle this. You think their way is to wait more time, or you need more rest time? It seems like that doesn't work for them. So why should it work for you? Very interesting though. The military doesn't like older guys. I wonder why. They don't like older women either. I wonder why. I'll tell you why. Because the blood work and the urine work and the hormone levels and all of the health markers as these people are aging are preventing the servicemen and women from healing the way they want them to heal, so they can keep on pushing their bodies, be it in war, in peace, or in war. It is absolutely 100% critical that you not keep focusing on, I need more recovery time. And you start to optimize your hormonal levels, as well as other levels, such as I recently found out that I'm on the normal level of iron, but I'm low, but I'm normal, I'm low. Why would you want a low level, even though a normal, of iron content in your blood, if the iron content is involved with hemoglobin in your blood? So I saw this, I'm like, okay, I'm going to address that. Where's your iron? You probably don't know. I didn't know. So you see, this is extremely important, so that once again, you optimize your levels so you're not deficient, so you're not functioning as basically an old person. Let me give you an example. You're 20 years old. Let's say you have 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. Now you're 75. The military doesn't want you. Why do you think they don't want you? Well, because your hormone level is probably what, at 300 now? So what if you're 18 and you're at 300 nanograms per deciliter, with a person that had 1,000 is now 80 years old and now is at 300? Same thing. Basically, if you don't have optimized levels, you're functioning as an old person. And the cool thing about this is an old person can function as a young person if they review their blood and urine work, so they can work on optimizing their not just their hormones, but all parameters of their health. Okay? So we need to get away from this blanket stupidity of someone coming along and telling you how long you should rest. It's ridiculous. And like I was saying again, okay, because regarding the eccentrics and the damage that it causes on the muscle, you don't cause that much damage when you're doing concentrics, unless if you do a lot more concentrics. Okay. So if you're doing a workout and you're letting the weight down, well, now what? How do you compare that to you not letting that weight down like that? And how do you compare a workout that does involve overloaded isometrics and overloaded eccentrics to one that doesn't? Okay. So these are all very important factors regarding the intensity of your workout, the volume of your workout, the length of time, the muscle fiber type that you have in relation to that workout. In addition to the optimization and where your hormone and other nutrient levels and other parameters. I'm not using necessarily every correct word for every parameter here, but it doesn't matter. I'm talking about being optimized fully, if possible, on all of your blood work parameters and your urinalysis. There are men like Vigorous Steve who can analyze your blood and urine work and give recommendations on how to adjust that. Okay, my focus is on exercise physiology, but there are those men that focus on the hormonals and on blood and urine work. This is taking science and recovery and bodybuilding to a much higher level than what was previously able to be achieved. I'd also like to touch on the matter of hormones and this whole crap about anabolic steroids are bad, hormones are bad. This is bullshit, okay? But there are a lot of pitfalls. It's just like when you go into the supermarket, what foods should you eat and what foods should you not eat? And reading the labels. Even when you go into the supplement store, reading the labels of what are the other ingredients in here. Do I want all this magnesium stearate in my body, for instance? Okay. So, you have to educate yourself. Vigorous Steve has brought out the problem with it not being the testosterone, the injectable testosterone, but it's the solvents, it's the crap that they're putting in the oil. And it's a different type of oils that are used that can cause problems. Okay? So this is groundbreaking. There was also the matter of the medications, the hormones being put in ampules. So when you break the ampule, very small glass particles can get into the oil, and that you should use a filter needle or a syringe filter, right? And the harm that these particles could possibly cause. So it's not necessarily, that testosterone is no good or whatever. Well, no. It's also how you're getting this testosterone. Is the methyl testosterone in a tablet, or is it injectable testosterone, which is better? What type of oil is being used? Is there any other crap that's in there? And you can learn about all this on VigorousSteve.com and his YouTube channel. He's extremely intelligent, specialized in this area. All right. I was over at the gym recently. This guy was telling what my doctor said, that if I take testosterone it causes heart disease. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Okay. First of all, we have the matter of the HDL and LDL cholesterol. You're going to be monitoring that. You should be monitoring that anyway and know where that is. Are you using bodybuilding levels? This is not, for example, if you just want to be on the high side of normal. And if you're using bodybuilding levels, you keep an eye on it, and you see where it is. You see how you're doing with that. But the matter, what us guys have found out through the Vigorous Steve that's really causing a problem here is that it's not the testosterone, it's the other crap that they're putting in the oil. Okay? So, just finally, I want to just close here by saying that this whole issue of, you need X amount of recovery time, you have to go by feel. You've got to get to know your own body. Okay? I know when I'm ready to go. I can feel it by the hour sometimes. As a matter of fact, I'll get up in the morning and I'll feel like I can't do any more pulling. No, I'm not ready for it. I'll have a really good protein meal. I'll sleep for like two more hours. I'll get up and I'll be ready to go. All right? You have to get to know your own body and also know what's going on with your workouts and understand how different workouts affect the body. Eccentrics are hard on your muscles and also on your joints, particularly overloaded. Same thing with doing this with overloaded isometrics, overloaded eccentrics. You have to do a lot more concentrics to equal the amount of damage. Though it is absolutely different. The damage that you're doing to your muscle eccentrically versus concentrically, it's different. But these workouts and the extent to which you manipulate this are all variables regarding recovery. Let me give you as an example. If you're doing leg extensions and you extend your leg upward quickly, and then instead of just letting down the weight like that, you go up very quickly and you hold it for a second. The weight come up, boom, and it comes down, the inertia, and the stack comes down back on your leg again, on your quads. Boom, and you hold that for a second. That amount of stress right there. And you lock that, and then you come down slowly. This is different from just going up and down. So it's not just your reps and sets, it's the quality of the reps and the sets. And that's also a problem regarding you guys the girls as well, pardon me, that are focusing on how many sets you have left, how many reps, how many sets you have left. I always say I go by feel. I have no idea. I don't care about that. I care about the quality. I care about making sure I have a certain feel. Yeah, I'm done now. Otherwise, it's a matter of just completing a task. It's not about completing a task if you're bodybuilding. Unless if you're doing, let's say what I'm doing out at the beach, where, okay, my goal is to pull 800,000 pounds in 5 days, which you can see on my big lifts page. That's a little different. But even still, I'm not sacrificing my form. I'm not trying to pull back and use my whole body to cheat in that way. I keep my bodybuilding component in there to have good form, if possible. So, it's the quality of these reps and sets, not just getting the rep and set done. Did you really go to failure then? Or is it, once again, is it just about completing that set? Right? Did you practice maximal, not just time under tension, but maximal time under tension, which I'll get into in another video. But I have in a previous video addressed that when you set up your sets, people are doing it in reverse. You don't set up the set to complete the rep at the end. You set up your set to complete the rep at the beginning. So in other words, you don't choose your weight and say, okay, I want how many reps and sets do you have left? Well, okay, I got one more set of 12 reps. All right, so one more set of 10 reps. All right, so I got 10 reps, and I'm gonna do 80 pounds. So I know that I'm gonna get my 10 reps done with 80 pounds. All right, so here we go, right? Here we go. So, okay, 1, all right, I'm doing fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Oh, now I'm starting to get tired. Oh yeah, oh great. So by the 10th one, yeah, then that worked on the 10th one. But the 1, 2, you just pull like okay, yeah, whatever. Where's stimulation there? The way it should be done, as if you pick up Charles Poliquin's book, as well as you learn from Hatfield, Frederick Hatfield, PhD, and world record holder, is you set it you set the weight for the first rep, not the last rep. Maximal time under tension. Well, I'm sorry. Time under maximal tension. However you want to say it, it means the same thing. Is that you set it for the first one, say 120 on the first rep, 110, 100, 90, 80. As your muscles failing, then you're dropping the weight accordingly, so that you're going maximum on the 2B fiber and on the 2A, and as it's all failing, you're always hitting the muscle to its maximum capability. The 2B, the 2A, 2A/1, down to the 1, depending on how far you want to do it. 1 is in full effect by 90 seconds later. But you don't set it by the end point, you set it by the beginning point. Now the question is, did you do it that way? And if you did it that way, don't you think that's a lot more difficult than if you do it the other way, where you just failed the last rep? Of course. Now, how would you compare your recovery between those two workouts? Tell me. Big difference, right? Okay, so, in conclusion, this entire concept of someone telling you, or you determining, predetermining how much rest you need is wrong. Is wrong. You have to go by feel. The Kenyans didn't go by the propaganda and the bullshit. The Kenyans went by feel. And the Kenyans became world-class marathon runners. I went by feel. I did what everyone said you couldn't do. And right around that time, I was also climbing 1,000 flights on the stair machine in 100 minutes. Okay? So, forget about what people are trying to, people are trying to define, make definitions and define you. You define who you are. Don't let other people define who you are and make these decisions for you. You are you. You become the best athlete that you can be. All right? And you do that by listening to your own body, getting into your own body, and being the best version of yourself as far as what you can possibly be. All right. InnovativePhysiqueDevelopment.com. I also recommend you check out VigorousSteve.com, his YouTube channel, as well as his website. As far as he does go into training there somewhat on exercise physiology. I feel that he's lacking in that area, that his knowledge, that's not his forte. I don't recommend his exercise physiology side, his training side. I recommend my side, I feel that my knowledge surpasses him in that area and he's lacking in that area, that's okay. And I'm hopeful that he starts listening and reviewing some of what I have to say, and I look forward to him gaining his knowledge in the field of exercise physiology. Steve's forte is with the hormones and the optimization of your blood and urine work, the review of it and how to optimize it, right? And then also of other supplements as well. He's great with this, right? I've also listed some supplements on my website for mitochondrial support that he may not be listing. So I recommend you do review my website as well, particularly the graph that you can view in the bodybuilding and training video series between myself and the energy blueprint that's there in that graph. And I go into the mitochondrial support of various supplements that you can take. But anyway, I recommend with Vigorous Steve his amazing contribution to athletes such as myself, such as yourself, is his hormonal optimization, what he knows about the usage of hormones, whether you want to take it further into bodybuilding or even just to optimize your levels and maintain in the normal reference range, be it man or woman, and improve your health greatly. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video.